Good day, dear people of God. I continue with my conversion story and why, as a family, we should gather, read the Word of God, and pray during this stay home challenge. As I told you in the previous story, my conversion, the event that surrounds the bonfire, according to my father, the missing disciple they were looking for that night, why they lighted the fire and the candles. I know by now those who are already Christians and Catholics, you know that this missing disciple is Judas. Probably my father has no idea that Judas, who betrayed Jesus, later was sorry and threw the silver coins at the temple and went to hang himself. By this, it is clear that the person who hung on the cross, who died on the cross, actually was Jesus. It wasn't a duplicate of him. It wasn't just his image placed on any disciple. It was Jesus. That missing disciple was Judas, who later went and hanged himself. Now, for me, to some extent, my father may be right. Logically, he may be right because for him, Islam believes in the virgin birth of Jesus Christ. And they believe that Jesus has no human father like the other prophets. Anabi Isa, as they call him, is a great prophet. And as a child, it is believed that he even breathed into a deathbed and gave it life, a bed that was dead. The child Jesus breathed life into it. And we are familiar with the Gospels of how Jesus opened the eyes of the blind, made the lame to walk, made the deaf to hear, and raised the dead. How can this powerful man who raised the dead himself die? And not just an ordinary death, but such a shameful death. How can God die? But why must he die to save us? And if he must die, why didn't he just sleep and die in his sleep, but have to go through such cruelty? Why did he allow himself to be treated with that harshness? They spit on him, they lashed him, made crown of thorns, and place it on him. And human flesh, as soft as it is, he knew what a painful death. Now, just imagine someone losing a spouse, a loved one, on the day of their honeymoon, or losing your father, caring father, your mother, a sibling, or the breadwinner of the family. And I come to console you, and I tell you, it's okay, I understand. Really? Do I really understand? Sister Stella Asura, HSCJ, a philosophy lecturer in St. Joseph's Seminary, once taught us philosophy, scholasticate, and said, her sayings, and I quote, one cannot have an experience until you experience it. An experience cannot be an experience until you experience it. And now I understand when Jesus says, do not fear that which destroys the body, but fear the one that can destroy both the body and the soul in Gehenna. You know why I can confidently believe that I have life after my journey here on earth. I can relate if Jesus says that he will save me, that when I die, I will have life. If he tells me I'll have life here after death, I believe because he has tasted death and has overcome. And so I believe if he tells me, he will save me. Because Jesus has proved to me that he has overcome the power of death. Even if one does not understand the word resurrection or what it means, just imagine the faith in which the early apostles and the Christians joyfully underwent martyrdom, because they have a great hope. They are looking up to that fire that allowed itself to be consumed to give light and truth. He poured out everything. The truth and the light that has overcome darkness and lies and deception, Satan. In the creation story, God started creating the world by calling light. And we, our first parents, made way for darkness when they listened to the serpent. The same temptation is repeated in the gospel. It's repeated in the temptation story of Jesus, just to show us that He has overcome. He has restored back our dignity. That the light that was once overshadowed has come out and has brightened the world again. That is why the early martyrs refused to accept that darkness, because they now have an example to follow, Jesus Christ. They refuse to accept the darkness and the lies, but proclaim Christ crucified. Crucified pride, death, powers, the world's powers, and they held onto the truth. They did not just hold on to the resurrection. They did not just look up to the glory, but they realized that the cross is necessary. The crucifixion is necessary. That's why they have to also take their own crosses, become martyrs. Jesus said, if you want to follow me, take up your cross and follow me. We all have our crosses. If you are a Christian, if you are a believer, and you've not identified any cross in your life, then you have a problem. You have nothing to give away. You have nothing to sacrifice. What Jesus has given us, the example He has given us, is that of love, that of sacrifice. And He has taught us to do same to each other, to die for one another. And that is why I challenge each family, each household, to live this example. And how do you live it when you don't know it? That's why the family worship and sharing of the Word of God is very necessary. You see, maybe we have forgotten what our salvation stands for and what we need to hold on to. COVID-19 has come to teach us a lesson. It has come to teach us that money cannot buy life. It has come to teach us that the strong cannot overcome death. It has come to teach us that money cannot buy life. Everyone is equal when it comes to COVID-19. I am sure if it was any sickness that has a lot of money for cure, most of our politicians and our rich people will have flew outside for cure. But this is a sickness that has made all the powers in the world to become armless. So let's all humble ourselves and come to understand what this period is teaching us, and let's reflect so that our salvation will be complete. I will end here for today and continue another time. Thank you.